My name is Raissa Dyer from British Council Brazil, and I will be responsible for hosting this presentation today. I'm glad now to welcome Andrew Newton, our Country Director, who will give us a welcome speech.
Thank you very much, Raissa, for that introduction, and thank you very much for welcoming me. I just also like to welcome everyone who's joined this webinar. I'm very sorry that we're not able to do this in person, presencial, but I hope that in future opportunities that we will be able to collaborate face to face. But firstly, really, I'd like to just be able to touch upon the importance of this call, which is around the focus of bringing greater capacity and policy making around gender equality in science, technology, higher education, and research institution in Brazil. Essentially, as I'm sure you all know, that the call really aims to build capacity within Brazilian institutions and partnerships with British institutions who've been recipients of the Athena Swan Charter Awards, which is a framework that's used across the world to transform gender equality in higher education and research. And so by bringing obviously Brazilian institutions and also UK institutions together, this call will be able to therefore fund in total 5 British institutions who will work with 2 Brazilian institutions, be able to bring them together to really look at developing a very important framework around gender equality, but also achieving a longer term goal, which is a national adaptation of the framework. So by really joining this call and participating in this, you're really just being catalysts and the initiators of really a longer term vision and future that we hope to bring through our work in higher education partnerships. Because that's what the British Council's main focus, of course, is working, led by Vera and Raissa, to be able to build greater collaboration, greater opportunity in science, technology, and engineering and maths in higher education partnerships between the UK and Brazil. So we see this call as really a fundamental piece of work and opportunity for institutions to come together and build a better future in gender equality in academia. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Now, our Senior Manager, Vera Oliveira, will present about our Women Science program.
Thank you, Raissa. Thank you, Andy. And good morning and good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here and to see so many of you who could join us for this session. I will talk very briefly about how it all started. As Andrew mentioned, Women in Science, it's part of our Going Global Partnerships program that supports higher education links between Brazil and the UK. And we've been working in Brazil since 2018 to increase the presence of women in STEM careers. And how do we see it? In 2018, we did a study in Brazil where we could look that even though women, they are a big portion of the undergraduate numbers as a whole, this number is greatly reduced when you look at STEM careers, and especially reduced when you look at the top level academics and researchers. So what we see is that there's a challenge in terms of leadership, women accessing positions of leadership in the academic career, and moreover, there's a challenge in terms of increasing the numbers of women in STEM as a whole. To address this in Brazil, the idea that we came up with was to design a program that has 3 dimensions. The first one is about inspiring young girls to enter into STEM by working with teachers, schools, and start introducing girls to the university world via extension programs. The second dimension is about performance. It's stimulating women researchers via trainings, mentorships, and networking to develop their capacity, to develop their skills so that they are able to progress in their careers and to also address some of the biases that they will face during their career, be it at academia or at the private sector with the industry. And the third dimension, it's about leadership. It's recognizing women leaders, but it's also trying to influence policies, national policies towards science that will help change the scenario for all women so that we can promote more gender equality in academia. So the idea is that by working with these women who are already in the top of the careers and working with leaders in the higher education sector, we will be able to try and address systemic issues that have been so far blocking the women's pathway towards success. So this is how we've been working with Women's Science Agenda in Brazil. It's been a work where we've been trying to see through trainings and mentorships how we can make something more sustainable. And now through this call, we aim to try and start working how, by partnering UK and Brazilian institutions, we can start trying and seeing on how we can diagnose the challenges and understand the key numbers that should be, that reflect the challenges inside the institutions, how we can promote more consistently internal policies in the institutions, and how we can start designing a framework that will support this development of the system together with the UK that also faces its own challenges. So how the UK and Brazil can support each other towards changing the scenario. So I thank you everyone for being here, for being interested in this call, and a special shout out to the team, Raíssa, Marcela, and Luisa, who've been working so hard on this call to make all of this happen. So I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you solve all your doubts and questions, and I hope lots of you apply to this. So thank you very much, and thank you, Raíssa. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Vera. Now I will present the main points about the Gender Equality Partnership calls, and after that we'll open for questions in the chat box. So if you have questions, you could also type in the chat box that we will answer after the presentation. So the UK-Brazil Gender Equality Partnership call is not a call for individual research projects. We launch a call that's for the development and implementation of institutional policies. The grant will fund 5 projects from UK higher education, science and technology institutions, which are recipients of the Athena Swan Award. These UK institutions will develop institutional partnerships projects with counterparts in Brazil, where these partners can benefit from the experience of the UK institutions in their gender equality journey in STEM. Each successful UK institution will engage with 2 Brazilian higher education institutions to improve their competence with the ultimate goal of creating an enabling environment towards a new ecosystem that will promote greater participation of women in STEM careers. The objectives of this call is to influence the development of institutional policies and practice which will enable progress, achieving gender equality in science, technology, higher education, and research institutions in Brazil. We also aim to build capacity with Brazilian institutions through partnerships with British institutions recipients of the Athena Swan Awards. Also, we want to provide the basis to introduce the Brazilian institutions a gender equality framework, drawing upon the successful Athena Swan model in the UK, but also customizing to the requirements of the Brazilian context with a focus on bringing about institutional change. And in the future, we believe that this call will support a future accreditation or recognition of institutions through relevant national certifications and awards about gender equality. So, other important point about this call is about the budget and activity that will be funded. The UK universities will be awarded to each one £30,000 for joint development and activities. So the main examples of activities could be organization of meetings, seminars, workshops, trainings and mentorships, development of training materials, strengthening and collaborative links, consultancy fees, faculty mobility with the purpose of knowledge exchange, travel costs that would be directly related to the operation of the project. We wanted to highlight also that no administration or operational costs would be funded with this grant. So for the Brazilian institutions, we believe that it's important to have a briefing about the Athenas 1 Charter. This is a framework which is used across the globe to support and transform gender equality within higher education and research. It starts in 2005 and encourage to recognize and advance careers in women's science, technology, engineering, and medicine. The Charter is now used across the globe to address gender equality more broadly and not just barriers to progression that affect women. If the Brazilian institutions would like to know more information about the Athenas 1 Charter Award, we send the link here. So, who can apply to this call? We would like to highlight this is a joint application with one UK higher education institution and 2 Brazilian higher education institutions. The UK higher education institution must be recipient of any Athenas 1 award. If Brazilian institutions have questions about UK institutions awarded with the Athenas 1, we also send you a link that you could find out which institutions are awarded with this credit. So, also, it is important to mention our timeline project. The calls for applications are open, and the submissions will be until 3rd October. And we expect that project implementation starts at the end of October of 2021, and the project would be ended on 31st October of 2022. The universities will have 1 year to develop their activities with this grant. So we receive a lot of questions about the mandatory documents and support files that we require for applications. So the main documents for submissions would be the application response sheet that are available on our website, activities and budget plan, the curriculum of UK and Brazil lead applicants. We also highlight the importance of institutional letter of support from each participant institutions, for example, 1 letter from UK institution and 2 letters from Brazil. And also we have some supporting files that will help you to submit your proposal on our website. And you must remember that all documents must be submitted in PDF format. Also, we received some questions about submission instructions. So it's interesting to highlight here. The applications will be on our website. It's a SurveyMonkey format, and also all mandatory documents must be uploaded on this website. All fields about your institutions and applicants' information must be completed, and you must complete your submission in one single time. The SurveyMonkey doesn't allow to save you as progress, so you cannot save and return for your application. So it's important that you remember that you must complete your submission in one single time. So if you have experienced technical issues about the SurveyMonkey, you could also send us an email here about these issues, and we'll try to solve it. So also for this webinar, on this webinar we received some pre-submitted questions about the call. So we thought that would be interesting also to answer these questions, and after that we'll open the chat box for more questions. So the first question we received was about the institutions. Question 1: the Brazilian institution can be in the same state. Should they share their actions? Yes, it's possible that the Brazilian institutions could be from the same state, and we recommend that these Brazilian institutions involve shared actions activities during the process, but it's not an obligation. The question 2. Will the application process be equally distributed throughout Brazil regions? We highly encourage submissions from institutions from different parts of Brazil to ensure a more equitable and diverse share of projects around the country. Question 3. The Brazilian institutions need to be chosen by some of the UK institutions. Do UK and Brazilian institutions need to be partners already? No. Both UK and Brazilian institutions can seek new partnerships, and previous partnerships between institutions are not required. So if a Brazilian and UK institution would like to set a new partnership for this call, it's possible. So next question was about can we have more than 2 Brazilian partner institutions? Ideally not, because the grant provided will be the same. If the applicants would like, for example, to involve 3 Brazilian institutions and 1 UK institution, that will be the same grant received, £30,000. So we really recommend 2 Brazilian institutions and 1 UK university. But if the proposal would involve more Brazilian partners, so please call us. Then we'll think about the possibility, but we want to highlight that the grant will be the same. How can I get in contact with a UK institution for this call? So we already share a link for the Athena Swan Award holders here in the UK, and we also received some emails from UK institutions and Brazilian institutions that want to develop new partnerships. So if you have questions, you can send us an email, and also you can check the website and get in contact with a UK institution. Next question. Will researchers come to the teaching institutions in the face-to-face modality? What is expected of the host institution in return? So face-to-face activities and mobility will depend about COVID restrictions. So the travel restrictions now, we do not recommend face-to-face activities, but the project has 1 year, so it's possible to plan some face-to-face activities. But we would like to highlight that would depend about travel restrictions and so on. Next question was about submissions. We are considering submission, but would like to involve our academic colleagues in science in addition to our EDI Athena Swan team. I therefore wonder to what extent we could incorporate activities for research training, including, for example, mobilities or workshops for early career researchers. So activities should aim to promote gender inclusion in STEM area. Training related to research projects are not included in this call. The next question. Is this a whole institution collaboration or individual departments? This could be a proposal for institutional collaboration or departmental collaboration also. Is it mandatory to be formally employed or enrolled at the institution? Yes, the lead applicants must be formally employed by the lead and/or partner institutions. The next question. Are there any areas of science that will be prioritized? No, all STEM areas will be equally considered. Does the project to be submitted need to be ongoing, or can it be created now? how long will this partnership last? The project can be either new or ongoing. Projects are expected to last 12 months, but one of the objectives of the school is to enable long-term partnerships. So here we have some useful links. Our link to our website about the call, UK Gender Equality Partnership Call. We have the link in Portuguese and also in English, and a link to our submissions. For further questions and queries, you can contact me by September 17. And for technical issues about SurveyMonkey, you can contact British Council. And also, to learn more about our opportunities in Brazil, you can sign up our newsletter here in Portuguese. So, thank you, and I hope you all enjoyed this presentation. And now we'll open for questions in the chat box. Just a minute, please, that I will check the questions. The first question received was from Letícia Oliveira. What is the contribution of Brazilian institutions to the preparation of the proposal? We feel that activities should be proposed by UK institutions based on the Athens 1 guidelines. Yeah, the idea is a joint proposal. So the Brazilian institutions will be develop the project with the UK institution that is awarded with the Athens 1. So the idea is not only a UK application, but a joint application with Brazilian and UK institutions. We received another question from Kelly Cristina. Some researchers with PhD could join this call. This call is an institutional call. It's important to highlight that. The applicants must be enrolled in the institutions, and the project will be institutional and or departmental project. It's not a research project, individual research project. So the researchers must be formally engaged in the institutional process inside their universities. The next question. The next question, Tori. Hello, thanks for the presentation. Is this exclusively institutional partnership, or can applications come from STEM departments within an institutional? Yes, could be an institutional partnership or applications for STEM departments that will apply institutional policies inside the department. So could be both a bigger project, institutional bigger project for the universities, or STEM departments that want to apply for developing policy change inside their departments also. The next question is from Richard Brunt. Hello, Richard. Does UK lead applicant have to be an academic, or can this person be from support professional services? Yeah, both. Could be an academic or from support professional service also. But we want to highlight that the applicant must have the letter of support of a high institutional level from your university. The next question is from Letícia Oliveira. Is there the possibility of proposing scholarship for selected graduate students to follow up on tutoring and training? About the funding that will be available for the call, the funding could contain travel costs, but not about scholarship, because our timelines from 1 year, so probably scholarships it's a more medium term, so scholarships are not involved on this grant call. The next question is about Alessandra Is there a maximum age to participate? No. There's no limit of age. The next question is about Tina. It's from Tina. If research activities are not part of the call, how can involve our academic colleagues, and what kind of activities would be appropriate to include in the submissions? You can involve academic colleagues, but the idea is to support the change of institutional activities inside the university or department, STEM department. So activities will be for mentoring, training, workshops that will try to change the idea and how to improve policies to bring more gender equality in especially in STEM areas inside the universities. And the last question received was from Leticia. What kind of product is expected at the end of the project? We expect more long-term partnerships, and inside Brazilian universities, we expect a change of institutional process that could enable more gender inclusion inside the universities and the departments of STEM. Because nowadays we have studies that shows that women on leadership, women are fewer on leadership inside universities. Women have fewer access to funding inside universities. So the idea is to develop good practice that will enable more inclusion of women in the STEM area inside the institutions. Clarissa Oliveira sent another question. Regarding the submission, how does it work? Both universities work together on projects. However, which university submit the proposal? Ideally, the UK university will submit the proposal on our website, but it's a joint project, so all the content must be developed with Brazilian and UK institutions. So the idea of who is going to put the information of the on the website could be the Brazilian or the UK institutions, but we must have a clear project, a joint project with a UK and 2 Brazilian lead applicants. More questions? We receive a question from Maria José. Regarding the application form, just the coordinators should appear in the form, or all participants from the UK and Brazilian institutions. In the form, on the SurveyMonkey form, first, just the coordinators from Brazilian and UK side will upload the informations. But on the project proposal, you could, on the PDF format, you could include the names of all other researchers and participants of the project. Now, Kelly Cristina sent a message. Can only professors with PhD participate? It will depend. The idea is that the applicants must be involved in this institutional project. So could be a staff from the International Relations Department. Also could be the applicant from UK or Brazilian side. So not necessarily for a PhD, but the idea is that will be involved all institutional level from the university or department. I think that's the final questions. Yeah, I think that the last one that I received was from Kelly. So if you don't have any questions more, I think If you have if you have doubts after this webinar, you can send me an email, as I mentioned before, and we will also add on our website this webinar, this video. So if you have questions, you can go back to our presentation to clarify some points. So I think that, Lais, do we have more questions? I think no. So thank you all for your time. It was a pleasure to have you with us. We expect many submissions for this call. Our deadline is the beginning of October, so we are expecting more questions and submissions until then. So thank you for your time. Just a moment, maybe I receive another question. No more questions. So thank you for your time, and have a good day. And we expect to have many submissions for this call, because it would be very important for also UK and Brazilian institutions partnerships. So thank you. Bye bye.